So we wanted that Latin word to sound a little more aeronautical, so we added an A in there. V-A-E-R-U-S. The Latin word is V-E-R-U-S. So we just threw another letter in there to be a little different.
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, hearing you talk, it sounds that, you know, honesty, integrity, and meaning what you say and saying what you mean is a big part of your business model.
Yeah.
That name kind of encapsulates that.
Also, there were 4 bottles of wine consumed in the making of that name.
This is what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 3. On the previous 2 episodes, we showed you what goes into orchestrating a complex formation to gather air-to-air marketing videos for Vaerus Jet Sales. We spent a lot of time with their gorgeous 1946 DC-3, which serves as the company mascot. But what is Vaerus Jet Sales and who is behind its success? On the final day of this marketing shoot, we got to sit down with its founder and CEO, Pettit. Brooks tells his story, sharing his insights and philosophies on running a successful aviation business and so much more.
Primary company is Vaerus Aviation. We've been in the management business, managing corporate business jets for a little over 15 years, and we have been buying and selling and helping our clients with acquisitions and sales of business jets for about 20 years now. Use the DC-3, which is a big part of our company branding and has been a big part of our company branding since we started our formal brand, Vaerus Jet Sales. Anybody that has an interest in aviation, whether they're a pilot or not, has some sort of ability to associate with the DC-3. Either they have a relative or a family member that traveled on DC-3s, have a relative that worked in the airlines on DC-3s, or have some sort of association, or just simply as a pilot or airplane aficionado, they have an affinity for these airplanes. And so it's tough to take that airplane anywhere without it being recognized. It's the airplane that revolutionized commercial air travel. It has such iconic lines and a beautiful ramp presence. It's stately and majestic, and it's impossible to taxi in at an airport and miss seeing the nose of a DC-3. The guy that sold the airplane to us seemed to be less interested in the money we paid for the airplane than about how we were going to go about caring for this majestic machine. And he was interested in knowing that I shared the same opinion that we're only caretakers for these airplanes. We are blessed with the opportunity to be a caretaker for a certain period of time in its life, and we hope that these airplanes are flying long after we are, or certainly long after our purpose for owning the airplane is. We're bestowed an honor of caring for these machines, and we have to preserve them for the next generation of people. So the DC-3 was built and utilized in an era when people looked each other in the eye and they shook each other's hands and they did what they said they were going to. People refer to it as the greatest generation, when a handshake meant more than it maybe does today. So that's one kind of pillar of who we are as an organization and why we're doing what we're doing in this business. But also we believe that if you're buying or if you're selling a business jet that most of the time is a several $million-dollar asset, that it deserves to have a higher level of representation in the marketplace. It's amazing to me to see the number of airplanes that are brokered with an iPhone picture sitting in a cold hangar. And the way that I would say that my emotions are when it comes to airplanes is that now I know they're not living, breathing things, but sometimes we as aviators think of our machines, think of our airplanes as such. And you wouldn't showcase a thoroughbred racehorse in the back of a horse trailer. You would showcase a thoroughbred racehorse doing what it was supposed to do, running. And that's what we believe in the business of marketing business jets, is that these are multiple million dollar airplanes. and they deserve representation to showcase them doing what they're supposed to do. It shows emotion, it shows movement, it shows progress, it shows all that airplanes bring to people. They put people in touch with their families, they put people closer to business relationships, they get people home for the soccer game at the end of the business day, and that's how we believe those airplanes should be showcased. We're selling an experience, and we're selling a way about the way we do business. When we started our company, actually, we were at one point in time named Flight Management Group. I always felt like Flight Management Group was equivalent to Acme Brick Company. It didn't have a purposeful meaning. It was a general catch-all kind of name. And then when we were working with some of the larger brokerage firms, they would always kind of talk down to us as if we were just a dumb management company and we don't really know how to buy and sell business jets. And the reality is that we've gotten pretty good at it over the last 20 years, and we wanted to distance ourselves specifically from a management-only name. The name Vaerus it's actually not a word. It is of similar spelling to a Latin word, V-E-R-U-S, which has some lineage along the lines of truth and honesty and integrity. We specifically wanted to have a name that it would be different enough that people would recognize it for being so different. The DC-3 has been a big part of our branding since the inception of our company, and the DC-3 will, for lack of a better term, the DC-3 will be our Goodyear blimp. We will use the DC-3 to attend public events, places like the Masters Golf Tournament and the Kentucky Derby and the Barrett-Jackson Auto Auction. Our intention is to use the DC-3 as its iconic brand that it is just by itself, to share our name, to remember us as that company with the DC-3, but also to create an image with the name as well. I grew up working at the local airport, was a flight instructor and fueled airplanes and became a charter pilot. I ended up out on my own. I was 23 years old and got to relearn what it was like to start from the beginning. With one little client, a beach bonanza, it was kind of a painful process at the time, growing a sales organization and a management company. Flew a Bonanza and then a 421, and now we have over 50 employees and 13 airplanes under management, more than $100 million in airplane transactions of recent years. We hire personality, and you can train everything else. And we certainly have in our demographic of employees, we have a bunch of senior airmen that work for us. But truth be told, I was rewarded along my career path by having some really neat people that were very intentional and purposeful about sharing aviation and business and life lessons with me. And sometimes that meant, kicking the shins, and sometimes it meant slowing down and taking the time to mentor me. I had a lot of really wonderful mentors, and I find a lot of reward in mentoring a young group of people. There's also something that I get in return, in that I'm a pretty high energy guy, and I enjoy the young people in our company. People that say the generations coming are messed up or ruined, they've got it wrong. There's some really bright, brilliant people. Certainly, in looking around at our company, I had so much fun mentoring them, but I also enjoyed the slapstick and the choding that we all get from each other. Work's supposed to be fun. I'm not in this business to become a billionaire. We're going to have a lot of fun in the process, and the young workforce kind of helps with that, I think.
All right, you take the airplane, and I'm going to go let everybody else come up and hang out for a little bit.
We have 11 kind of guiding principles in our company, and one of those is let the student become the teacher. If we don't empower the next generation, there's going to be nobody to do the work, and the world needs to travel. So from just a simplistic standpoint, you have to have people to do the work, but more importantly, you have a responsibility to share knowledge, to educate and grow. You are responsible to every one of their future passengers that climbs on board an airplane with the airmen that you're training. You have the responsibility to instill confidence and competency in those airmen. And if you don't, you're doing a disservice to public safety, but also to our industry and the professionalism in our industry.
Isn't that amazing that it has a dinger?
It is.
I am passionate about this avenue of aviation over that of commercial aviation. I care more about the neat things I get to do and the places I get to see, but more importantly, the people I get to spend my time with, way more than building a bank account. The variety of work that we do. On Sunday, I'm going to leave and be in Napa, California, drinking wine with my clients, and we frequent the Masters Golf Tournament and frequent some really neat life experiences that very few of my peers that are in other professions or in other parts of aviation can say that, can talk about those really neat life experiences, and I wouldn't trade it for, there's no amount of money that I would trade. We were only given this one life. We can all go earn more money, but we can't ever get our time back.
Thank you for watching. That concludes episode 3. We hope you got something from Brooks. We sure did, and we thank him and his whole team for opening their doors to us. If you're new and you're enjoying what we do, give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Blue skies, and stay tuned for so much more.